Hi, Glenna Cleek here with Encore Ministries of First United Methodist Church, Benton. We've been living in a little slower time recently, and at least some of us have. We're used to being so busy all of the time, or most of the time. I'll show you my calendar for this year, 2020, and as you can see, nothing written in the days. If I showed you a calendar from most years in April, those days would be filled up with appointments and activities and events, things that we would be going to and keeping us busy. With the pandemic, until recently when things are beginning to change, we've been spending a whole lot of time at home. Families have been spending a lot more time together. And yes, I know that there's been schoolwork to be done, and a lot of people are actually having to go to work. But basically, things in our country have slowed down quite a bit. Maybe that's a good thing. We normally lead such busy lives, and that's at every age. I talked with a lady in her 90s not long ago, and we were talking about how busy people stay, even older people who should be retired and more relaxed. And she told me, she said, I know. When I was a little girl, I used to go visit my grandma, and she was always sitting in her rocking chair, rocking. And she told me, she said, I gave my rocking chair away because I never had time to sit in it anymore. Now, that's not to suggest that we should just sit around and do nothing, but to wisely choose our activities so as to enjoy life and feel like we're being productive and having a meaningful life. Even children stay busy with school and organized activities, but right now, kids are spending a lot more time with their parents, and it's really good when that's quality time. A friend told me about her daughter and her family and with 4 children, and one of the granddaughters told my friend, said, recently we all sat down together and watched Maundy Thursday services on the internet, and we had communion together right there at home. And then she told her, said, another thing we did, we made a pie for an elderly lady that lives in our neighborhood. And she said, Grandma, we would have never been able to do that if things had not been for this virus thing going on. She said, we would have all been going off in different directions, basketball practice and cheer practice and all kinds of other activities. So that's the way most young families are these days, busy all the time. So there are some good things about this slower time. I saw a little boy on TV who said, I've never gotten to spend this much time with my mom before, and I really like it. Maybe when this is all over, we'll all decide that, hey, this slower time was pretty nice. I've talked to a few friends who've said that they definitely plan to prioritize their activities from now on in order to not be so busy all the time. The world is going to pull you in 1,000 different directions if you let it, making you feel like if you don't stay busy and keep doing things, you're going to miss out or not be able to keep up with other people. The world will keep you busy. You may have heard this quote by Socrates, "Beware the barrenness of a busy life." And I know of a couple who took this quote to heart. The husband and wife both worked in very high-profile jobs in Chicago, and they led such busy lives that they hardly ever even saw each other. one of them said they were like two ships passing in the night. One year they decided to take a vacation together, and they went to New Mexico. They fell in love with the climate, and most of all, with the slower pace of life. They came to a sleepy little town where they saw a laundromat for sale. They bought it. They left their busy jobs in Chicago and moved to that small town. Dawn and I had heard about them through a mutual friend, and on a trip out to New Mexico one time, we went by their laundromat, and there was a sign on the door, and this is what it said: "If here, open. If not, shut." It was shut that day. This was a couple that decided that life is too short to stay so busy all the time. How often have you ever wished for a quieter time or place? You know, even David felt the need for it. Listen to his words in Psalm 55:6. "Oh, that I had wings like a dove, I would fly away and be at rest." Jesus realized the importance of coming away from a busy life. And in Mark 6:31, he's speaking to the apostles, and it says, "Then Jesus suggested, 'Let's get away from the crowds for a while and rest.' For so many people were coming and going, they scarcely had time to eat." If Jesus knew the need to get away from busyness, then we should follow his example. Consider taking advantage of this opportunity to slow down the busyness of life. What would you like your new normal to be?